Hello viewers, welcome to Saki's Intellect. Before beginning the topic, if you are new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And today our topic is the human nervous system, which is the most amazing and interesting topic in the whole human anatomy. And come to the nervous system, today the real challenge of artificial intelligence is to understand how natural intelligence works. Our natural intelligence is nothing but our brain. And we do know that the brain contains billions and billions of neurons, and that we think and learn by establishing electrical connections between different neurons. And now let's start understanding the organization of human nervous system, which forms the base for such type of advances. Come to the nervous system, it is a highly specialized network which regulates activities that are under conscious control, and such as coordinating body's movement. And the network is even when person is resting by controlling and coordinating activities such as slowing the heartbeat and dilation of blood vessels and stimulation of digestive system. And the human nervous system can be connected into many systems that can further together, and two systems are peripheral nervous system and central nervous system. Here central nervous system is nothing but the inner side, which is an important system, and peripheral is nothing but the outside, that is outside of our nervous system, that is outside of brain, so it is called as peripheral nervous system. Here central nervous system represents the largest part of nervous system, including the brain and spinal cord. Here brain is covered by a protective layer of membrane and the skull, and the spinal cord is also protected by vertebrate. And here spinal cord controls the reflex actions which conveys impulse. Come to the peripheral nervous system, it consists of nerves and ganglia outside of brain and spinal cord. That is outside of brain is nothing but peripheral system. And this function is to connect the central nervous system to limbs and organs. And peripheral nervous system is again divided into somatic nervous system and automatic nervous system. Whereas somatic nervous system has 12 pairs of cranial nerves, which is seen in ventral surface of brain and which has different functions, and 31 pairs of spinal nerves, which bundles of nerves fibers connected to spinal cord. And automatic nervous system, it has pairs of chains of ganglia and which are close to organs. Here peripheral nervous system has nerves and ganglia. Ganglia is nothing but the glia cells, which are nothing but glue cells. That is, they are the supporting cells. These are the cells which are essential for the structural integrity of nervous system. And there are several types of glia in brain and spinal cord, like astrocytes, radial glia, oligodendrocytes and Schwann cells. These are the types of glia cells which supports and connects the nerve cells, and its structure is similar to the normal cell. And next one is about the neuron, which is a unit of nervous system, and neuron is also known as the nerve cell, which are responsible in cells in the nervous system which respond to communication and the presence of stimuli to central nervous system. And these neurons has the property of conducting using electrochemical signals. Neurons are nothing but sensors that send electrical messages to central nervous system. And neurons are of various types, like sensory neurons, motor neurons and interneurons. Sensory neurons are nothing but the transmitters which send signals to spinal cord and brain and respond to stimuli like light, sound and touch. And motor neurons are nothing but receivers which receive signals from brain and spinal cord and cause muscular contractions. Interneurons are nothing but which connects neurons to other neurons within the brain and spinal cord. Here the cell body of neuron is nothing but like normal cell, and it has defined nucleus and surrounded by granular cytoplasm. Here the ability of neurons to transmit and receive information depends on their elaborate structure, with extension of cell called dendrites and axons. Here dendrites are nothing but the highly branched extensions which receive signal from other neurons, and axons are much longer extension which transmit signals to other cells. And here many axons are enclosed by a layer called myelin sheath. These neurons are classified into dendrites and axons. Here axons usually divide into several branches, and each of ends with a synaptic terminal. And the site of communication between a synaptic terminal and another cell is called as a synapse, which is nothing but a connection. Here the next one is neurotransmitters, which are the chemicals and which allow the transmission of signals from one neuron to next across the synapses. And most significant neurotransmitters are glutamate, GABA, acetylcholine and dopamine and serotonin. Here glutamate used at the great majority of fast excitatory synapses in brain and spinal cord. Come to the GABA, it is also used at great majority of fast inhibitory synapses in every part of brain. Come to the acetylcholine, which connects motor nerves to muscles, and dopamine plays a critical role in reward system, and serotonin is most produced by and found in the intestine and remain in the central nervous system. Its function is to regulate appetite, sleep, memory and learning, temperature, mood, behavior, muscle contraction and function of cardiovascular system, and serotonin also plays a vital role. And next part is the brain, which is the center of human nervous system, and every animal we think has a brain, but the human brain is unique as it gives us power to speak, imagine and problem solving mechanism. And the brain is truly an incredible organ, and the brain has broadly divided into three regions: forebrain, midbrain and hindbrain. The forebrain consists mainly of cerebrum and diencephalon, and midbrain doesn't have any further divisions. And the hindbrain consists of three centers called pons, cerebellum and medulla. Here first part is cerebrum, which is in the forebrain, and it develops from the embryonic telencephalon, an outer growth of forebrain that areas early invertebrate evolution as a region supporting olfactory reception. And cerebrum again divided into right and left cerebral hemispheres. Outer covering of grey matter is the cerebral cortex, and internal white matter is the group of neurons. And next one is diencephalon. Diencephalon is the embryonic diencephalon which develops into three adult brain regions, which are the epithalamus, thalamus and hypothalamus. Next one is the midbrain. Midbrain is nothing but it doesn't have any further parts, and it is a small tubular part which controls reflex movements of head and neck. And the midbrain doesn't have any further extensions. Come to the cerebellum. Cerebellum is in the hindbrain. It is important for coordination and error checking during motor, perceptual and cognitive functions. And this cerebellum involves in learning, and it receives sensory information about position of joints and muscles and information about the auditory and visual system. And next one is about the medulla oblongata, also called as the medulla, which is the lowest portion of brain located at the base of skull, which we can easily identify, and it controls the activities of internal organs and peristalsis movements of alimentary canal, that is in the digestive tract, and breathing and in the respiratory system, and beating of heart in circulatory system. And next one is pons in the midbrain and in the hindbrain, which regulates breath and coordinate large scale body movements such as walking. Brain is again classified into four lobes: frontal lobe, parietal lobe and temporal lobe and occipital lobe. And next one is about the brain stem. Brain stem is nothing but the collectivity of three parts of brain, that is medulla, pons and midbrain, which is collectively called as the brain stem, that is medulla oblongata, also called as the brain stem. And here the one important gland is pituitary gland, which is located in the brain near hypothalamus, that is in the diencephalon. Near diencephalon the pituitary gland is located, and this pituitary gland is located in the brain near hypothalamus behind ridge of nose, and it is about the size of pea and attached to brain by a thin stem of blood vessels and nerve cell projection. It is a part of endocrine system, and its main function is to secrete hormones into your bloodstream. The other organs and glands, especially thyroid gland. Come to the memory mechanism of our brain. We hold information, anticipation or goals for a time in short-term memory locations in frontal lobes, and then release them if they become irrelevant. The hippocampus activities the mechanism of long-term memory if we need to retain knowledge. That is, memory mechanism is of two types: short-term memory and long-term memory. Come to the memory allocation. The one of the most fascinating mysteries of brain is its capacity to learn and change with every new experience and to remember throughout the life. And here memory is nothing but an expression of what has been acquired. And next one is about the diseases and disorders of our human brain. A neurological disorder is any disorder of body's nervous system, like mental illness, depression, schizophrenia, Alzheimer's diseases, and Parkinson's diseases. Here the depression is nothing but the state of feeling sad and depressed for the feeling of hopelessness. That is, lack of energy is nothing but depression, and about 1% of world's population suffers from this. And next one is the hallucination or schizophrenia. It is also about 1% of world's population suffers from a severe mental disturbance. And next one is Alzheimer's diseases. It is a mental deterioration or dementia which is characterized by confusion, memory loss, and a variety of other symptoms. About 1% of people are suffering from this. And next one is Parkinson's disease. It is approximately of 1 million people in US suffer from this, and it is a motor disorder which is characterized by difficulty in slowness of movements and rigidity. It is caused by degeneration or damage to nerve cells. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe my channel.